Good afternoon, dear students, dear colleagues. The first seminar for grade 9 students, Unit 1. At the beginning, allow me to introduce my colleagues in the studio, Ms. Ula Al-Moui, English Language Supervisor, Tartus Directorate. Good afternoon, Ms. Ula.
Good afternoon, sir. Glad to be here as always.
And Ms. Lina Ahmad, English Language Teacher, Damascus Countryside Directorate. Welcome, Ms.
Thank
Lina.
you. Thank you.
We're going to start, as usual, the new curriculum, MR English Series, Unit number 1. Ms. Ula
Yes.
is going to start. The floor is yours.
Okay. The book starts with Module 1, which is about making difference. We know every module has 2 units that are related one way or another. So Unit 1, it's about work together to make it better. So this is going to be our unit. And in this unit, we're going to have some skills as usual. To start with listening, it's about a boy talking about his experience with a scout group. Then we can have speaking skill. After that, we have reading with a text. We have a text in the student's book and a text in the activity book or workbook. Then we move on to vocabulary. And after that, we have grammar with the present simple and present progressive. We have pronunciation with some vowels, and we end up with writing.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As usual, we always start with the listening skill, and we assure that students and teachers give big attention to this skill because it is the most important skill. Without listening, we can't speak. And if we can't speak, we can't communicate.
Do nothing, yes.
And the aim of learning the language is to communicate. It's communication.
Exactly.
We have a boy called Adam. Adam is talking about his experience. Now we are going to have 2 listenings. The first one for the general idea. Then we make the students listen a second time for specific information. I'm going to start the audio for the first time. Now.
Hello, my name is Adam. I joined WhatsApp when I was 10. Now I am 14. I've spent 4 years as a scout and enjoyed it a lot. Our group usually meet once a week, on Friday from 2 to 4. Our uniform consists of navy blue shorts, a blue shirt, a yellow neckerchief, long socks and black shoes. But in our regular meetings, we only wear the neckerchief with casual outfit. We have different activities about child protection, women and community development. Nowadays we are learning sign language. I advise you all to join a scout group because I learned a lot from the scout camps and from all the activities I shared with my friends. That helped me improve my character and the way I serve my community and country, and I also gained the respect of others. Last week, we helped homeless people by giving them clothes and food, and we once supported the Down syndrome people who were working in a cafeteria.
We listened for the first time, and we're going to talk about the general idea. The idea of the text is, Miss Ula?
It's about Adam, a boy who is a member in the scout group. And they do some kind of voluntary work to help others, and that's the general idea.
Yes. Now we have some questions. We have 6 questions. We are going to listen again. Then we are going to decide if the sentences are each true or false. So we are going to listen a second time. Start.
Hello, my name is Adam. I joined WhatsApp when I was 10. Now I am 14. I've spent 4 years as a scout and enjoyed it a lot. Our group usually meet once a week, on Friday from 2 to 4. Our uniform consists of navy blue shorts, a blue shirt, a yellow neckerchief, long socks and black shoes. But in our regular meetings, we only wear the neckerchief with casual outfit. We have different activities about child protection, women and community development. Nowadays we are learning sign language. I advise you all to join a scout group because I learned a lot from the scout camps and from all the activities I shared with my friends. That helped me improve my character and the way I serve my community and country, and I also gained the respect of others. Last week, we helped homeless people by giving them clothes and food, and we once supported the Down syndrome people who were working in a cafeteria.
Well, after we listened for the second time, we are going to decide if the sentence is true or false. Number one, Miss Lena, please read it.
Yes. Number 1. Adam joined Watad when he was 9.
It is
False.
false. Number 2, Miss Ula.
Number 2, he has spent 4 years as a scout and enjoyed it a lot. It's true.
True. Number 3, Miss Lena.
Yes. Number 3. His group usually meets twice a week, on Friday and Monday from 2 to 4. This is false.
False. Number 4.
Their
Miss
uniform
Ula.
consists of navy blue shorts, a blue shirt, a yellow neckerchief, long socks and black shoes, and this is correct. It's true.
True. Miss Lena, number 5.
They have different activities about child protection, men, and community development. This is not true. This is false.
Because it is women,
Women, not
Women.
men.
not
And
men.
community.
Miss Ula,
The
number
last
6.
one, last week, they helped homeless people by giving them clothes and food, and this is correct. True.
True. Well, now we move to the second skill, which is
Speaking.
As usual, we always tell the students and teachers it's up to the teacher and the student to choose the skill of speaking.
Of course.
It can be a picture to talk about, or imagine something and talk about. Whatever it is, the aim is to make the students speak, either individually or in pairs or even in groups.
And even if they make mistakes, it's
Yeah,
okay.
of course we will make mistakes, and by making mistakes we learn.
Of course.
The teacher's aim is to correct the mistakes, but not immediately. After the conversation is finished, the teacher can re-talk about the mistakes without mentioning who made the mistake. Miss Ula, please read it.
Okay, so look at the picture and say what they do. We have to look at the picture. Whatever the students say, it's okay. They can choose something. They can, for example, say it's a doctor. Yes, it's a doctor, sure. It's a nurse, sure, it's a nurse. It's okay. So they have to speak. They have to have the confidence first to speak
To
and then,
produce.
yes, to
To
produce
produce the
something.
language, yes.
They can see an engineer, a plumber, it's okay, a pilot, a businessman. So they can choose anything, even if it wasn't correct, it's okay.
Yeah.
They just need to
So the
speak to
aim is to
express
speak,
themselves.
to express themselves, to talk about what they have in front of them, to make sense of what they listen to, and to try to say something, even if, as you said, they make mistakes. It's okay, because by making mistakes we learn.
Okay. And of course, they can elicit others' conversation, kinds of conversation, like what are they wearing, what do they have to do, what do they take as equipment, and things like that.
Yes. Now we move to the third skill, which is reading. Read the text, then do the tasks below. Miss Lena, would you
Yes.
like to read?
Of course. So the reading today has the title of A Different Class. It's about a special classroom and a special teacher. I'm going to start reading right now. Hanan Al-Hurub was a poorly paid teacher in the West Bank. Then she won the $1 million Global Teacher Prize. The committee praised Mrs. Al-Hurub's play and learn method, which she still employs. Besides her clown outfit, Mrs. Al-Hurub uses balloons, hula hoops, toy cars, and puppets to explain her lessons. Her aim is to make the classroom a calm and fun place where children can forget about the struggle of daily life and open their minds. We play first, and when we play, we learn, she said. The kids don't even realize they are learning. In addition to the toys and balloons, which she pays for with her own money, she uses videos and even PowerPoint in the classroom. For the first month of a new school year, her 8-year-old pupils may not even see an exercise book. Parents often refuse the focus on play. That soon changes, Mrs. Al-Haroub says, when they realise that her methods improve behaviour, especially in troubled kids, and academic results. She also sees it as her duty to build their characters. No to violence is a motto in her classes. Mrs. Al-Haroub plans to establish her own foundation and use some of her winnings to train other teachers to follow her approach. It is worth mentioning that Mrs. Al-Haroub's dream was to be a doctor, but failing to do so did not prevent her from being a special person who could make a difference.
Well, let's talk about something before we start asking about the questions. No to violence is highlighted in her class. She says no to violence. She is a teacher, but in the end we read about something that she always wanted to be.
A doctor.
A doctor.
A doctor, yes.
And we read something about the money she pays.
She was poorly
to buy.
paid.
She was poorly paid first, and she paid
$1
for
million.
the tools she used, not the school.
Of course.
It's from her own money. Now we move to the questions. Number one, Miss Ula.
Okay, now we
please
have
read.
to choose A, B, C, or D. Number one, Hanan Al-Haroub's teaching methods was read and write, listen and speak, talk and sing, or play and learn. And it's the last choice, play and learn.
D. Play and
D.
learn. Yes. Miss Lina, will you please read the second one?
Of course. Number two, she teaches in A or an A, elementary school, B, secondary school, C, high school, or D, university. The correct answer should be A,
A.
elementary school.
Yes. 8-year students. How
Yes.
do we know from 8-year
8-year
students?
So they are in
It means
elementary.
elementary school. Number three,
Three,
Miss
Mrs.
Ula.
Al-Haroub wanted to become teacher, B, nurse, C, doctor, D, manager. She wanted to be a doctor.
A doctor. We move to the
True or false?
true or false.
For the same text.
Yeah. Number one, Miss Lina.
Yes, number one, when the kids play and learn, they don't even realize they are learning. This is definitely true.
True. Miss Ula, number
Number
two.
two, the school pays for the toys and balloons she uses. You have just mentioned that, sir. It's false. She pays for her own tools.
Yes. And number three, Miss Lina.
Yes, Mrs. Al-Haroub aims to establish her own hospital. This is false.
False. It's not a hospital. It
That
is
should
a
be
foundation.
a foundation.
To train
Organization to train teachers.
teachers. We move to vocabulary. In the vocabulary section, we have, as in the exam, we will have questions about vocabulary.
There's multiple choices.
We are going to have, yes, 4 choices for every exercise. The student is going to choose the suitable word to fill in the blank. Number one, Miss Ula.
Okay, number one, the teacher began to, the students of their excellent work. Realize, no, struggle doesn't make sense. Employ or praise, it's letter D, praise.
Yes. How do we know?
From the text, we
From
can.
the text, we have excellent work. At the end of the question, we have excellent work. So since it is an excellent work, to realize the students, it's not okay. Struggle the students, it doesn't fit.
Negative, exactly.
Employ the students, is it a company? Praise is the exact word. Number two, Miss Lina.
Yes, number two, an act of caused the window to be broken. A, outfit, B, method,
Okay.
C, violence, or D, duty. The
Okay.
correct answer is violence. That would be
Okay.
letter C.
violence is letter C. Number 3.
Number
Miss Ola.
3, the artist had a hammer to open his paint cans. A, pay. B, win. C, explain. And D, employ. D, it's the correct answer because it works with a hammer. To employ a hammer. To
Yes.
use a hammer.
To use a hammer. Number 4.
Yes.
Miss Lena.
She was wearing a splendid A. Behaviour, B. Outfit, C. Committee, or D. Mind. The correct answer
Wearing.
is
Wearing,
wearing
so
an
it's-
outfit.
Outfit.
It's letter B.
It's
Thank you.
interesting to wear splendid behavior.
Yeah,
Yes.
it does not make
It's
sense.
very nice. Miss
Okay.
Ola, number 5.
Number 5, his against cancer lasted for 2 years. Struggle, A. B, aim. C, puppets. D, difference. And since it's with cancer, so A, struggle with cancer. Is the
Exactly.
correct answer.
So this is an exam-like exercise. Students are going to have something like this in the exam to fill in the suitable word, to choose the suitable word to fill in the blank. These are the answers: praise, violence, employ, outfit, and struggle. Then we move to the second text from the activity book. Miss Ola,
Okay.
will you please?
Yes, sure. From Microsoft to tomatoes. One day, an unemployed.
I think we have
A call. Okay.
Hello? Are you there? Hello, Judy. Are you with us?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judy. How are you?
Fine.
Well, welcome. What is your question?
How can I know when the sentence is present simple or present progressive?
The difference between present simple, present progressive, I guess. How can she know the difference? Or
Yeah, we are going to explain it after we finish the reading part. Please be with us and we will talk in details about the difference between simple present and present continuous or progressive. It is the same. Any other question?
Yes.
She has another question.
Yes.
Do you have another question?
Yes.
Yeah, what is it?
What?
Yeah, ask.
Any more questions, Judy? You have more questions, or that's your
No,
question?
no.
Okay.
No.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will tell you the difference after we finish the reading part, God willing. Okay, Ms. Ola, please continue.
Okay. From Microsoft to tomatoes. One day, an unemployed man went to apply for a job with
Just,
Microsoft.
will you please repeat the title saying tomatoes since it is
Tomato.
British?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
from
I know
Microsoft-
that you like
Yeah,
the
the
American way.
tomato, predicament,
tomato, okay.
tomato.
From Microsoft to tomatoes.
Okay.
Okay. One day, an unemployed man went to apply for a job with Microsoft as a cleaner. The manager said, "Let me have your email address so that I can send you a form to complete and tell you when you can start." The man said that he had no computer or email address. The manager, "Well, then that means that you virtually don't exist and therefore can't be employed." The man looked at the last 10 pounds in his wallet and thought of buying tomatoes in bulk. Within less than 2 hours, he sold all the tomatoes at 100% profit. Repeating the process several times that day, he ended up with almost 100 pounds before going to sleep that night. Getting up early day and going to bed late, he multiplied his profits quickly. After a short time, he bought a cart to transport several dozens boxes of tomatoes. By the end of the second year, he became the owner of a fleet of trucks and the manager of a staff of 100 former unemployed people, all selling tomatoes. Planning for the future of his wife and children, he decided to buy life insurance. An advisor asked him for his email address in order to send the final documents electronically. When the man replied that he has no email, the advisor felt astonished and said, How did you make such wealth without internet and email? Just imagine where you would be now if you had been connected to the internet from the very start. After a moment of thought, the tomato millionaire replied, I would be a floor cleaner at Microsoft, even with the lack of technology. With determination and the required skills, one can make a difference.
Yes. Actually, this text seems that it is against technology, but it is not the aim of our teaching. It is that you can do or you can make a success in any way if you have the will. If you have the will, you will have the way. That's it.
So you don't have to follow the stream.
Yeah, of course.
You can think out of the box
of course.
or do something different.
Sometimes someone may say, I don't have the tools, I don't have the things I need to do something. If you have
I don't
the
have
will,
what others have, but you can make your own success.
Against all odds.
Of course.
Definitely.
actually, the need sometimes makes you succeed more than when you have everything around you. Students in the past didn't have electricity like now maybe,
Of course.
but they needed to study and they succeeded. And now we have the same thing, and
We still don't have electricity, by the way.
yeah. Well, I'm not talking about issues. It's just that if we have a will, we will be able to succeed. We have to choose the correct word between brackets. It's vocabulary exercise again. Miss Lena,
Yes.
number one.
Actually, it's ABC. There's something wrong with the rubric. It's ABC or D, not between brackets.
Yeah.
Okay.
A, B, C, D, yeah.
All right. So, number one, the man applied for a job as a, letter A, manager, letter B, plumber, letter C, cleaner, or letter D, teacher. So, the correct answer is C, cleaner.
Cleaner. So the first job he wanted to
apply for
was a cleaner, but since he didn't have an email or email address,
he was rejected.
He was refused, but he succeeded
Eventually,
nevertheless. Yes. Number two, Miss Lena, Miss Sala.
Okay, the man can't be employed at Microsoft because he has no email address, B, has a computer, C, hasn't applied for the job, or D, already has a job. Actually, he has no email address.
No email address. Miss Lena.
Yes, number three.
Number three.
The man bought a cart in order to A, transport the tomatoes, B, create an email, C, apply for a job, or D, planning for the future. The man brought a cart in order to B, transport the tomatoes.
Okay.
He needed to move the tomatoes.
We have a call again from Alisar. Good afternoon, Alisar.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Great, thank you.
Well.
I'd like to ask some questions about the exam.
Yeah.
Are we going to have more than one correct answer?
No, it's only one correct answer. And you are going to choose it.
Okay, thank you. And what about the time? Is it enough?
The time will be enough, yeah, it is enough. Because
thank you so much.
We started it last year, it was okay, and students were able to finish it on time. Any other questions?
Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Thanks.
We continue.
Okay, now we have true.
True or false?
Number one, he became the owner of a fleet of trucks after 2 months. It's false. After 2 years.
After 2 years. Number two.
Yes, number two. The advisor asked him for his email address to send the documents electronically, which is true.
And the last one?
The last one, with the lack of technology, we can never make difference. This is false. We can always make a difference.
Yeah, technology is very important, and we need to use it. It's a stream.
It makes life easier.
Yes.
Sometimes.
But not impossible.
Yes.
But you can work.
Of course, not impossible without it, of course.
And if you have the will and the thinking, the good thinking, you will be able to succeed. We move to vocabulary again. in the activity book, and we are going, it's not between brackets, it is A, B, C, or D. Number 1, whose turn, Miss Lena?
Yes. Number 1, she had a problem in the bank, so she asked to meet the A, manager, B, managed, C, manager, or D, managing.
Letter A was a manage or managed B, manager C, or D, managing. It
So
is
C, manager.
the manager. She wanted to meet the manager. Number 2, Miss Ola.
Okay, number 2, he has no money. He has been for months. He has been A, employee, B, employer, C, unemployed, or D, unemployment. Since he has no money, he has been unemployed. C.
Okay, before we move, let me just clarify something. Students may say, how can we know that it is number 1, the manager, and number 2, the unemployed? While learning in the classroom, the teacher is going to clarify that manage is a verb and managed is the past verb, past form of the verb. The manager is the noun of the person, and managing is the noun,
process,
the gerund, the
Or
process,
gerund,
yes, managing.
yes.
And from the context, we read the question, she had a problem in the bank, so she asked to meet the. Meet is a verb.
Yeah, and
And
we
it
meet
needs
someone.
something, not something, someone. This someone is a person. From the 4 words, the only person we can find is the manager, because the ER makes the verb a noun for people. So we choose manager for number 1. And number 2, he has been, this is the present perfect, perfect tense, or perfect, yeah, it is the present perfect.
Present perfect.
And this is passive voice, actually. And we need verb 3. The verb 3 from these words is
Unemployed.
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 And
Because
we
he has
choose it.
no money.
The only
So
one there.
this question, when we want to bring this question in the exam, students will be able to answer it because they will have taken the passive voice, the simple present, the present continuous, and all about grammar and about vocabulary. So it will be a piece of cake in the
Especially
exam
when
to
they
choose.
practice that.
Yeah,
They
the
need
word,
to practice.
Course.
family. When they
Exactly.
practice word family, it becomes much easier.
We have a call. Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Who is speaking?
I'm Hussein from Tarsus.
Hussein.
Welcome, Hussein from Tartus. Welcome, welcome, Hussein.
I need to ask something about the exam question.
Yeah, please.
Are we going to have an exercise about pronunciation?
In grade 9, yes, you are going to have to cross out the different word. We have a pronunciation question.
What about the baccalaureate? The same.
And the same in the baccalaureate. So we are going to have a pronunciation question. How, last year, if you check the exam paper of last year, we brought 4 words, 3 with a similar pronunciation and 1 different, and the question was cross out the different word. Okay?
Okay.
So while reading and while studying, you will see, and now in this seminar, we will meet the short A and the long A for sat and for car. And you may have in the exam 3 words with a, like sat, hat, cat. Then we have car, and we say choose the different word. The different word is car. Or it may be the opposite, car, jar, hard. Then we have sat. Sat is the different. Is it okay?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Do you have any other questions?
No thanks.
Welcome, Mr. Hussein. Thank you so much for calling. Welcome. Continue, Miss Lena, I think it's your turn.
Yes.
Number
So
3.
we are at number 3. Life doesn't en masse.
On more.
A, exist. B, existence. C, existent. Or D, existed. So since we have doesn't, so probably we're looking for verb 0.
Verb 0.
The only one available here is letter A,
Exist.
which is exist. So life does not exist en masse.
Thank you so much. Yes, Miss Ola, number 4.
Okay, number 4. I was when my 9-month brother could walk? A. Astonish. B. Astonishing. C. Astonished. D. Astonishment. I was, so I am feeling something, which is I was astonished. C. I was astonished when my 9-month brother could walk.
Again, let me make it easy to the students.
Please.
Astonished is used when someone feels about something, impressed. Astonishing is impressing the others.
Causing the feeling.
Causing the feeling. ED and ING forms are used with people, but with things, only the ING form.
Because things can't feel.
Yes, things can't feel. So we look at the exercise. If it is causing something to the others, so it is ING. If it is the person himself is interested or impressed, we use the ED. Here, I was. After I was, we need to use the verb 3. So it is astonished. If it is I was astonishing, it's not going to be the same way. It's going to be past continuous.
Actually,
but in this way, in this case, it's going to be affecting others. But in the exercise, he was affected.
And her brother or his brother is the astonishing one.
Yes, the brother is the astonishing person, and he is astonished. He was astonished because the 9-month brother could walk. And I'm astonished as well. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Maybe 10 months it will be okay, but 9 months, it's a bit weird for me. Here are the answers: manager, unemployed, exist, and astonished. Now we come to the grammar part. We are going to talk about the simple present and the present continuous, and I hope we will be able to answer the caller whose name was Judy.
Judy, yes.
Judy. Miss Ula,
yes,
please start talking about the simple present tense. And I hope you give more details than what we have.
Present simple, by the name we can understand that it's simple. I guess it's the most common tense used because it's a fact, everyday action. It happens as always, as long as we know that. As much as we know, it's not going to change. For example, it's general facts like it rarely rains in the desert. So as much as we know, it doesn't rain in the desert very often. So it rarely rains in the desert. We will play chess with 32 pieces. These are the rules of the game. So we always do that. Present habits like the birds return to the island every morning. So every morning they return to the island. This is a habit. So something that are always true.
Thank you. And if you allow me, I want to say something about this. For the teachers, when you teach this tense to the students, please focus about at the beginning that the form of the tense is I speak English. It rains in the desert. And say that we use verb 1 with the subject and we have completion. This completion can be a noun or an adjective or
prepositional phrase.
Anything. So it rarely rains in the desert. Rarely is adverbial.
Adverb of frequency.
A frequency, yes. So we use the simple present tense using the subject, then verb 1, then the completion. And we need to focus while teaching this tense and any tense this year, grade 9, on making questions.
Of course.
Because in the exam, we're going to have an exercise about making questions. In the exam, it's going to be WH question.
Of course.
But to make the students be able to use the WH questions, they need to learn first how to make the yes-no question. In this tense, to make the yes-no question, we need to use do or does. Do with I, you, we, they, and does with he, she,
and it.
And when we use these auxiliaries, we need to use verb 0, not verb 1. After auxiliaries, we use verb 0. Miss Lena,
yes.
Will you please continue?
So when we have questions, it's going to be, does he travel every year? Do you often visit your relatives?
Notice that in both ways we used verb 0 because we didn't put is to travel, although it is he, because we have some teachers say the s went with does. No, even if it is will or can or any auxiliary, we need to use verb 0, so it is verb 0. This is the yes-no question. I will give, for example, an example about how to make yes-no question and WH question. If it is, I watch horror films. I watch horror films. Or I go to school. Here we have an object which is a school. If I want to change it to a yes-no question, I say, do you go to school? It can be, I go to school with my brother. So we have another object which we can ask about. The first way is to make it a yes-no question. Do you go to school with your brother? I can also have, I go to school with my brother by bus. After I change it to a yes-no question, do you go to school with your brother by bus? I come now to WH question. In the exam, you will have a line under the word you need to ask about. If it is about your brother, we say, who do you go to school with by bus? If the line is under by bus, we delete by bus and we put at the beginning the word how. If it is under school, we delete school after we make it yes-no question and we use what? Where? Sorry, where? Please.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay. You're kidding me. And I followed you.
No, we sometimes use what with school, but not in this sentence.
Okay. It's nice to have fun from time to time. So we first make it a yes-no question. We say, do you go to school with your brother by bus? If we want to ask about school, we delete school and we use where. Where do you go with your brother by bus? So teachers need to teach the students this. First, how to change it to a yes-no question, then how to delete the word underlined and to choose a WH word that asks about it.
Even if it's a revision, but they have to revise all the rules.
Yes. The negative case, Miss Lena.
Yes. So when using negative and wanting to change a sentence into the negative, you can either use don't or doesn't. It depends on the subject. So when you have he, she or it, it's usually use doesn't in a sentence. I'm going to start reading now. The negative form. They don't usually go out in the evening. She doesn't always drink tea.
Yes. So, just to summarize, the form is subject, verb 1, complement. I go to school, I play football, I speak English, I can swim. All these are simple present tense. The use, we use it with habits, 2, facts,
General
3,
facts.
state verbs. State verbs. Sometimes we call them involuntary verbs. In the exam, mostly students will see something that helps them.
Time expression, for
time
example.
expression. We use with habits frequency adverbs. Students know frequency adverbs. Sometimes they don't know the name. Frequency adverbs are always,
Sometimes,
usually,
often.
sometimes, often, every plus time, every day, every week, every month, every year. So when we see as students these keywords, it is about simple tense. It can be past or present, or sometimes it may be future simple.
Yes.
But we need to have a look at these words first and to look at the context. To guess the exact tense. I repeat, habits, facts, involuntary verbs, or sometimes call them state verbs. This is about the simple present tense. Now we are going to move to the present continuous or present progressive. It is the same. Miss Ula.
Okay, so with the present progressive, let's start with the form. Subject is are and the verb with ing.
Am is are plus verb ing.
Okay, now we use it when we have something that is happening now. Like
mostly it is about when something is happening at the time of speaking.
At the time of speaking. Like she's reading a newspaper upstairs now, or I'm busy, I'm doing my homework at the moment. So now or at the moment are hints,
Keywords.
Keywords, exactly.
Yes.
Sometimes it's temporary habit, so something that is happening now, but it takes a longer time, not only now or at the moment of speaking. Like he's eating a lot these days, so it's not only about this moment or at the moment of speaking. It takes days. So, but it's temporary. It's going to end.
Yes,
Actually,
it's not going to last
it's not
forever.
going-
It's going to
exactly.
end at some point.
Not only habits, anything which is temporary, we use the continuous tense. For example, if I am Syrian, I say I live in Syria. But if I'm a student in London for 2 years, it's not for forever, I say I'm living in London for 2 years. It means I'm not a Londoner, I'm a foreigner, but I'm in London for studying.
I'm going to leave.
So temporary actions are
Eventually.
used in the continuous tense. If it is present, present continuous. If it was in the past, past continuous, and so on. And to describe. When we want to describe something happening now or to describe a photo, we use the present continuous tense. For future plans, when
For
we have
future
arrangement,
plans and personal arrangements, like we are visiting our cousins next week, so everything is arranged. We called them, we packed everything, and we may have booked the tickets, so everything is arranged. This is present continuous.
okay,
We're going for sure.
I'm going to clarify it again.
Please.
If I have a plan to visit someone next month, I use the future tense and say I'm going to visit my aunt, for example. I'm going to visit my aunt next month or next week. If I called my aunt earlier and agreed with her, this is what we call arrangement. In this case, I can use both the future
Going
and
to.
the present continuous. So we have arrangement. I can say I am visiting my aunt next month. Students may think that when we have arrangement, we can't use the future tense. No, we can. But from the speech, the listener can understand. If it is, I'm going to visit my aunt next month, it's
Which
a
is
plan.
the intention, yes, or plan.
If it is, I am visiting, the listener understand we have arrangement.
Arrangement.
So the meaning is you can use present continuous when we have arrangement, but you can use the future tense to talk about that, where the listener will understand that we don't have arrangement, it is a personal plan. Whose turn?
That should be mine.
Yes.
Now we're going to discuss yes/no questions with the present progressive form. Obviously, we're going to start differently here. We're going to start with verb to be. The form is going to be is, am, are.
It is easier than the simple present tense because in the simple present tense we need to use
We need
do
some
or
help,
does.
yes.
Here we have a helping verb
All we need to do is to invert.
to invert.
Exactly, change the places. So, are they having a good time? Is it raining?
Yeah, we just invert and we say, are they having a good time? I think it should be, are they having good time? Is it raining? The negative is we put not.
Then we add the question word if we have a question word.
He is not studying geography. They are not working nowadays. We have to talk about the contraction. I am not has only one way to contract.
I'm not.
Say I'm not. But he is not has two ways. He isn't or he's not. And they are not has two ways. They aren't. It's aren't, not aren't. We don't have anything called aren't. If you say aren't, it means you don't know how native people use it.
Speak.
They aren't or they're not. They aren't or they're not. I hope Judy knows the difference between.
Hopefully.
When we talk about habits, facts, and involuntary verbs, it's simple present. When we talk about something happening at the moment of speaking, it is
Present
present
progressive.
continuous or present
Continuous.
progressive. The key words for the simple present are always, usually, sometimes,
Often.
often, rarely,
Rarely,
seldom,
every
generally.
day, every
So
morning,
these
yeah.
keywords are for the simple present. For the progressive, we have now,
At the moment.
at the moment,
Nowadays.
nowadays, at present, this plus time, this day,
month,
this month,
this
this
year.
week, this year, Even this year, we use the
Currently.
present continuous tense. Now we have an exercise to complete the sentences with the correct present simple form of the verbs. Now we can elaborate, explain to Judy and our dear students why we chose the simple present or why we chose the present continuous. Number one.
Okay, now with this exercise, the first, they have to differentiate between using adding S or without S. For example, the first one, Mrs. Al-Hurub, balloons, hula hoops, toy cars and puppets. So here we have to choose the correct verb, which is uses.
And we
add S because Mrs. Al-Hurub, we can replace it by the pronoun she. So she uses. So Mrs. Al-Hurub uses balloons, hula hoops, toy cars and puppets.
Two, Miss Lina.
Number 2. Parents often refuse the focus on play.
Not refuses.
No, absolutely
Why?
not, because parents is
parents
usually
are
referred to
plural.
as they. It's plural, so we're not no adding S
Yes.
in here.
3, Miss Ola.
3, her methods.
Again plural.
Again, plural with behavior. Now, even if methods is not, the word is not human, some kids can't see the difference that we use they. It's things, but we use they. So it's here they, so we use improve. Her
So-
methods improve behavior.
So you basically mean that we use it for singulars
For
and we use
singular.
they for plurals.
Even if they are human or things,
Non-human.
objects.
Yes. So her methods improve behavior. Number 4, Miss Lina,
We play first, and when we play, we learn. We.
This is from the text actually. If the students
Yes.
read the text carefully, they will be able to answer all these things. But it's okay to highlight why we chose this or that.
To start with an easy exercise so that they can gain confidence first.
Number
then they
5,
can.
Miss Sola, please.
Number 5, the kids don't even, they are learning, don't even know or realize no in this one.
Yes, here are the answers.
Because we
Uses,
have
refuse,
don't
improve,
use 0,
play, and no. Now we are going to choose vocabulary exercise
This
like
is
in
the
the
form
exam.
of the exam, yes.
Form of the exam. She on the phone right now. Right now means present continuous. Right now means present continuous. Which one is present continuous, Miss Lina?
Well, the options are A, talks, B, has talked, B is talking, and D, talked. The only one is B, is talking. So she's talking on the phone right
it's
now.
C, actually, there is a mistake in
Oh, yes,
letter here.
there is lettering mistake, so it's C.
C, but here the C is repeated as B. It's,
It's
it's,
okay.
my fault, sorry. Although
right.
Miss Ula Al-Mu'i prepared the file,
Well, she
but
did
it
such
is
a
my
great job.
fault. It's okay.
It's our
Thank you,
fault.
Ella, for
Okay,
preparing the
that's
file.
my duty.
I forgot to mention it at the
No,
beginning
it's okay.
to thank you.
No worries. Number 2, I in the library at the moment. So at the moment again,
Keyword
keywords
for the present continuous.
progress. So B, this
Are
time
you
it's
with
B.
us, Judy? Do you see
Judy,
how we chose?
raise your hand, Judy, if you're with us.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, now I am studying B. This is B for sure.
Yeah.
At the moment, yes.
Number 3, Miss Lina.
Yes, it's good news to hear that John's health, A, had improved, B, improves, C, improved, or D, is improving. So it's definitely D, is improving. So someone is hearing
Actually,
some
this
good
is
news.
a little bit
Confusing
confusing
for the students,
because sometimes more than one answer can be accepted. It's good news to hear that John's health improved. Maybe it can be accepted, is improving, but I assure the students in the exam,
This is for Alisar. Only one correct
yeah.
Only
answer.
one correct
only
answer.
one accepted, because we have more than one person to put the questions and we discuss it together and we say that this can be accepted and that can be accepted. In the end, we have a final exam paper with only one accepted question, one correct question. Number 4, whose turn?
I choose- okay.
Miss Lina or Miss
Yes,
Ola?
it's Ola's turn.
Where are the children? There they are. They tennis are playing A. B, play, C, played, or D, were playing? Since we are asking about them, and like you have just mentioned, sir, that we
From
are
the
describing
question,
something.
where are the children? It means now. Where
Now.
are they now? And since
So
it's
they're looking
now,
for them at the moment.
it
Yes.
must
We
be
are playing. They are playing, sorry. A, they are playing.
again, someone may say they played tennis and went somewhere. We need completion. In this case, we will need completion. But from the context, they're playing tennis. Number 5, Miss Lina.
Yes. They, A, built,
And you
B, built.
read nowadays.
Nowadays, yep.
Denotes the present continuous.
Yes, that's a small hint, a really good hint. So it's definitely the present continuous. It's letter C, are building. They are building a new bridge nowadays.
Here are the answers. And now we're going to select between simple present or present continuous. Again, we will tell the students why we chose the answer so that they can choose it in the exam, but this is not an exam type. This is just to teach them difference between present simple and continuous. Number 1, Miss Lina.
Yes, every Monday, Sally drives or is driving her kids to football practice. Now we've got a hint, every Monday, so it's Sally
Okay.
drives.
So number 1 is drives because you have every Monday. Number 2, usually it is
so
simple
work.
present, so it is work. Number 3,
Be quiet.
be quiet. Be quiet is an order, an obligation, and usually we give the obligation now.
Now, at the moment.
At the moment, say we use the
Is
continuous.
sleeping.
John
Is
is
sleeping.
sleeping.
Don't forget to take your umbrella. It is raining,
Raining.
because an action happening at the time of speaking. And number 5, she is fit because she
General habit.
always denotes the simple present,
Runs.
runs as an exercise. Time is up. At
Unfortunately.
the end of the seminar, I hope you have enjoyed what we have presented. Allow me to thank my colleagues in the studio, Ms. Ula Al-Mu'i, English Language Supervisor, Tartus Directorate,
Thank you, sir.
and Ms. Lina Ahmad, English Language Teacher, Damascus Countryside Directorate, and this is me, Abdul Majid Agorli, Senior Supervisor and Coordinator of English Language in the Ministry of Education. Thank you so much and wish you good luck. Bye-bye.